Hello everyone and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about the given circumstances. What are they? How can we apply them? Who created them? And why do we need them for? So before we begin, take a look at this picture. Actors are essentially detectives for their role, and that's what I want you to come away with this video with, is that you as the actor are the detective searching for these given circumstances. The given circumstances essentially are the who, what, where, why, how, and when. So let's talk about what the given circumstances are. The term given circumstances was coined by Konstantin Stanislavski, and he basically said that it was all the material within the play that determines the environment and the world that takes place in these imaginary circumstances. I like to use the metaphor as it is the wooden pillars that make up the house that you kind of build everything around so you can play with inside. Konstantin Stanislavski sort of was thinking of, back in the day, the given circumstances as these three pillars. One of them being the environmental facts. That is setting, that means place, the spatial conditions in that place, and also the when. When is this happening? What time period? The next is previous action. So this would be the moment before, what has happened before the action begins. And also the third one would be the attitude. So the point of view held by the principal actor. The given circumstances are essentially meaningless unless the actor is able to fully believe in their reality. And that is one of the main jobs of the actor, is to commit to the given circumstances 100%. Ask questions. Ask too many questions about the continue every time you read it. Ask more questions, and I really recommend reading the play as much as you possibly can. If you're working on a movie and you only have limited pages, just continue to read it, and every single time you do, something tiny may come out of that. So what I'm going to do for you now, you might want to get a piece of paper and a pen and jot down. I'll also include this in the description of the video as well. But I just want to I want to give you just a list of things that you want to be aware of when you're reading. Here we go. Ready? So let's talk about environmental facts, and I'll just be reading this off here because there's a decent lot of time. What is the time area of the author? When did the author live? What are the conditions of the play? What is the play's position within the author's work in general? And does the play have a part in creating what is meant for the stage? The time of action. We want to ask ourselves, what exact time is the play set in? Is there a particular season? Is it the fall? Is it the winter? What's the weather out? What year is this set? What era? Was there a significant world and historic event that happened not too long ago? You also want to be asking yourself about dramatic time. How much total time has passed on stage? You want to know that so that you're making decisions and progressing as a character. What is the physical environment? What is the general location, right? The country. Is there a specific religion that's dominating, that's prevalent in the area? Is there a particular government that's in power at the moment, right? What social groups are happening? Are you inside of a particular social group? Do you subscribe or are you anti certain social groups? And relationships, right? What relationships are you seeing within the play? Who are you surrounding yourself? What do those characters say about you as a character? You want to take all these clues. They're all clues, and they will impact how you create your character, right? Your family and the way that the family dynamic, who you love, who you hate. Your occupation, so big. Ask yourself how much they're getting paid. What's their social economic status, right? Are they having a hard time getting money, or are they swimming in it, right? That's going to impact your clothes. Think about that, right? That's going to impact what your outlook is on life. You know, if you're a working class coal miner, you may not have a rose-colored, rose-tinted glasses look on life as, say, an aristocrat living in a French palace does, right? So you want to use these things to your advantage, and you want to use these things to define objective, to define characterization. Ultimately, the author is leaving you a trail of breadcrumbs to follow. These are facts, right? We're looking for solid information that the author is giving to you. You really don't want to infer anything because that wouldn't necessarily be considered given circumstances. That's you yourself bringing creative choices, creative liberties into the role. Not all of this stuff is going to be helpful, right? Not all of this stuff is going to resonate with you when you're at rehearsal or you're working on a script at home to prepare for a movie set. Not all the given circumstances will open the door for you, and that's totally fine. But there will be a couple of them in there that once you figure them out and once you identify them with you, it will open up a whole can of worms, and you will just go down a rabbit hole of characterization and opening about how your character is going to approach a certain scene, and it really is where you should start. Read the play first to get a general understanding of it, and then you read it a second time looking for the given circumstances, and then you read it a third time looking for the given circumstances, and you keep a journal next to you while you're reading the play or reading the movie script, and you or the audition, and you just write down every single time you find a given circumstance, and you keep a log. And I like to put them side by side. And you go along, and then at the very end, after when you feel like you've fleshed out all of them, you have one big master list of all the given circumstances, and you can group them up if you want to, or leave them at that. And then once you have that, then it's the time for the creative liberty parts. Then it's the time for creating the character and talking about objective and talking about moment before and all these other tools that you use in the toolbox. But yeah, that's sort of given circumstances in the nutshell. It's simpler than you may think, and it takes critical reading. It takes text analysis, and it takes patience, and it takes really being a detective. Okay, so for the assessment here, I am going to, in the description below, put in a brief, just a small monologue. And inside of that monologue, there's going to be some, I'm going to try and pepper in and pick one that has a lot of different given circumstances that you can identify. In the comments below, just make a list and see if you can find all the given circumstances yourself, and I'll go through every one and give replies. Make sure also to, in the resources tab of the description, find some of those resources. One of them is a really great PDF of a bunch of different questions that you can ask yourself when approaching a scene. Please make sure to like and share this video, and I'll see you next time.